My fiancé said, "I'm keeping the $12,000 engagement ring, even if we break up. It's a gift." I said, "You're absolutely right." Then I called the jeweler and proved it was still technically a rental. The repo man knocked on her door 48 hours later. I, 31 male, proposed to Bianca, 28, 9 months ago with what she thought was a $12,000 engagement ring. Stunning piece. 2-carat center stone, platinum band, the works. She said yes. Posted it all over social media, showed everyone who'd look. What she didn't know? I'd bought it through a lease-to-own program the jeweler offered. See, I'm a project manager at a tech company. Make decent money, but dropping 12 grand in cash wasn't practical. The jeweler, this high-end place downtown, offered a program. Pay $3,000 down, then monthly payments over 18 months. Interest-free if paid on time. After the final payment, the ring's officially yours, and they transfer full ownership. Made sense to me. Better than financing through a credit card. I'd paid the down payment and 7 months of the $500 monthly payments. Still owed $5,500. The paperwork was clear. Until that final payment, the ring remained property of the jeweler. It was in the contract I signed. I'd never mentioned this to Bianca. Figured I'd have it paid off before the wedding anyway. Why complicate things? Then last week happened. We'd been having problems. Nothing dramatic, just drift. She'd been distant, going out more with her friends, coming home late, the usual signs that made my gut twist. Thursday night, I came home early from work. Found her on the couch, phone in hand, quickly switching screens when I walked in. "Hey," I said, "what are you doing?" "Nothing. Just texting Ivy." Ivy, her best friend, the one who'd never liked me, who told Bianca she could do better, within earshot at a party once. "Cool. Wanna grab dinner later? Been a while since we went out." She barely looked up. "Can't. Have plans with the girls." Again, that's the 4th time this week. "So, I'm allowed to have friends, Derek." The edge in her voice was new. Or maybe not new. Maybe I'd just been ignoring it. "Didn't say you weren't. Just feels like we're not spending much time together." "Maybe because you're boring," she said, just like that. Flat, matter of fact. I sat down. "Where's this coming from?" She sighed, that dramatic sigh she'd started doing lately. "I don't know if this is working anymore." "What's not working?" "Us. This." She gestured vaguely at the apartment, at me, at everything. "I love you, but I don't know if I'm in love with you anymore." There was the speech. I'd heard variations of it in movies from friends. Never thought I'd get the live version. "You want to break up?" "I want space to think about what I want." "We're engaged, Bianca. The wedding's in 6 months. What's there to think about?" "Exactly. The wedding's in 6 months and I'm not sure I want to marry you." The truth, finally. No more pretense. "If that's how you feel, maybe we should call it off," I said quietly. "Maybe we should," she agreed. Silence, the kind that feels like it's crushing your chest. Then she looked at her hand, at the ring. "I'm keeping this, though. It was a gift. Legally, it's mine." I blinked. "You want to break up but keep the $12,000 ring?" "It's a gift. Engagement rings are gifts." I looked it up. "Once you give it, it's mine." The entitlement was stunning. "You're serious?" "Completely. You gave this to me. If you want to end things, fine, but I'm not giving back the ring." Something in me went cold. Clear. "You know what? You're absolutely right." She looked surprised. "Really?" "Yeah, it's a gift. Keep it." She smiled. Actually smiled. "Thanks. I'm glad you're being mature about this." "No problem. I'm gonna go for a walk." I grabbed my phone, my wallet, and left. Walked straight to my car and drove to the jewelry store. Update 1. Got to the jeweler right before closing. The owner, Mr. Kleinman, recognized me immediately. "Derek, good to see you. How's the ring working out? Actually need to talk to you about that. My fiancée and I are splitting up. She's refusing to return the ring." His expression shifted. "Business mode. I see. You're still making payments on the lease?" "Yep. Just made this month's payment last week. Still owe $5,500. "And she knows it's a lease to own?" "Never told her. Didn't seem relevant." He pulled up my account on his computer. Scrolled through. "Okay, so legally, the ring is still our property until that final payment clears. If she's refusing to return it after the relationship ended, that's technically possession of our property without authorization. What are my options?" "Well, you can continue payments and let her keep it. Or," he looked at me, "we can repossess it." "Repossess it?" We have a recovery service we use for situations like this. Defaults, stolen property, that sort of thing. They're very professional, very legal. We'd need verification that the relationship has ended and she's refusing to return the property. I pulled out my phone, showed him the text thread from an hour ago where Bianca had written, "Just so we're clear, I'm never giving back this ring. It's legally mine. Deal with it." Mr. Kleinman nodded slowly. "That should do it. I'll start the paperwork. There's a fee for the recovery service, $500. Do it. Sign the forms." He said they'd contact her within 48 hours. I went home. Bianca wasn't there, out with Ivy, presumably. I packed some essentials and crashed at my brother Curtis's place. 2 days later, Curtis called me at work. "Dude, you seeing this?" "Seeing what?" "Bianca's blowing up social media. Something about your ring?" Pulled up her Instagram. There it was, a photo of her hand with the ring, captioned, "PSA, engagement rings are gifts. If your ex tries to take back a gift, that's called being a petty loser. Keep your ring, queens." Comments were wild. Half her friends agreeing, half pointing out that legally it depends on the state. Few people asking what happened to us. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. "Mr. Derek Hartman?" "Speaking." "This is Allied Recovery Services. We're calling regarding a piece of property registered to Kleinman Fine Jewelers currently in possession of Miss Bianca Foster. We need to schedule a time to retrieve the item." "I'm not the one who has it. You'll need to contact her directly." "We will be. Just wanted to confirm the details. Thank you." 20 minutes later, Curtis texted me, "Oh man, check Bianca's stories. She'd posted a video. Her, in her apartment, looking furious. So apparently some recovery company just called me demanding I return my engagement ring. My ring. The one my ex gave me as a gift. This is harassment. This is illegal. Someone tell me what lawyer to call." I watched it twice. The entitlement was incredible. The complete lack of awareness that she might not actually have the legal high ground she thought she did. That evening, Bianca called. I let it go to voicemail. "Derek, what the hell did you do? Some repo company is threatening me. They said they're coming to get the ring. You can't do this. It's my ring. Call them off or I'm calling the police." Deleted it. Curtis looked at me over his beer. "You good?" "Yeah," I said. "Yeah, I'm good." Update 2. The next day started normal. Got to work, made coffee, answered emails. Then my phone started blowing up. Bianca's mother Faye was calling. I let it ring through. She left a voicemail. "Yeah, Derek. This is Faye. I don't know what's gotten into you, but threatening my daughter with repo men over a gift you gave her is despicable. She's terrified. This is borderline abuse. If you don't call off these people immediately, we will be contacting a lawyer and the police. Think about what you're doing." The victim narrative was already being constructed. I was the villain. Bianca was the damsel under attack. Then Ivy texted me from Bianca's phone. "You're actual trash. Bianca's having a panic attack because of you. Hope you're proud." I didn't respond to any of it. Around 2 p.m., Mr. Kleinman called. "Just an update. Allied contacted Miss Foster directly. They're scheduled to retrieve the ring tomorrow at 10 a.m. She's been resistant." I can imagine. She demanded to see documentation proving we own the ring. We provided copies of the lease agreement, the payment history, everything. She's now claiming she'll refuse them entry to her apartment. Can they still get it? If she doesn't voluntarily surrender the property, Allied will coordinate with local authorities. It's a civil matter, but refusal to return leased property can become theft if she persists. Most people don't let it get that far. "Most people aren't Bianca," he chuckled. "Fair enough. I'll keep you posted." That night, Curtis showed me Bianca's latest post. A photo of printed legal documents, partially visible. Caption: "Doing my research. Engagement rings are gifts under the law. This recovery company can kick rocks, not giving back what's rightfully mine." The comments were increasingly split. Some people were pointing out that conditional gifts exist, that engagement rings are often considered conditional on the marriage actually happening. Others were fully Team Bianca, calling me every name in the book. I didn't care anymore. Let her tell her version. The truth would sort itself out. The next morning, I was in a meeting when Curtis texted, "It's happening." "What's happening?" "Allied just showed up at Bianca's place. She posted it on her stories. She's live streaming the whole thing." Meeting be damned. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, pulled up her Instagram. There she was, Phone camera pointed at her apartment door. 2 people visible. A woman in a blazer holding a clipboard and a uniformed security officer. Bianca's voice, shaky with rage. This is insane. They showed up with a cop to take my ring. Over a breakup. The woman's voice, calm and professional. Ma'am, as I explained, this isn't about the breakup. This is about leased property registered to Kleinman Fine Jewelers. According to our records, the lease agreement is still active and not paid in full. The property remains ownership of Kleinman Jewelers until final payment is received. I don't care about your lease. Derek gave me this ring. It's a gift. Ma'am, I have documentation here showing the ring is part of a lease-to-own agreement. Mr. Hartman made a down payment in monthly installments, but the full purchase price hasn't been met. You can review these documents. I'm not giving you anything. Get out. The security officer spoke up. Ma'am, if you refuse to surrender the property, we'll need to involve the police for a civil standby. I'd prefer we handle this peacefully. You're threatening me. No ma'am, I'm informing you of the process. The video cut off. 10 minutes later, another story. Bianca crying, holding up her bare left hand. They took it. They literally took my ring, with a police escort. I feel violated. I feel attacked. This is the worst day of my life. Curtis sent me a gif of someone eating popcorn. Dude, this is wild. Yeah, it was. That afternoon, Mr. Kleinman called. We have the ring. Allied's team was very professional. Miss Foster ultimately surrendered it after the police explained the legal situation. No charges filed, no issues. The ring's back in our inventory. Thanks for handling it. Of course, what would you like to do about the remaining balance on the lease? Cancel it. I'll forfeit what I've paid. Consider it a very expensive lesson learned. Understood. I'll process the cancellation. Derek? I'm sorry it came to this. Not your fault. Appreciate your help. Hung up and stared at my computer screen. Felt empty. Not triumphant. Not satisfied. Just tired. But also, weirdly relieved. The ring was gone. That chapter was closed. Then the real drama started. Faye called again. I answered this time. You had my daughter's ring stolen by thugs with guns. They weren't thugs. They were a recovery service retrieving property that belonged to the jeweler. That ring was Bianca's. You gave it to her. I was leasing it. I never completed the purchase. Legally, it was never mine to give outright. The jeweler owned it until the final payment. That's a technicality. You're hiding behind fine print to hurt my daughter. I'm following the terms of a contract I signed. Bianca decided to keep property that wasn't legally hers after ending our relationship. Actions have consequences. She's devastated. She hasn't stopped crying. You've humiliated her online. I didn't post anything online. She's the one who documented everything. You know what you did. You deliberately set this up. I bought a ring through a payment plan offered by a jeweler. When we split up, she refused to return it. I notified the jeweler. They took it from there. That's the whole story. You're a vindictive, cruel man. She dodged a bullet not marrying you. Agreed. Have a good evening, Faye. I hung up. Bianca tried calling from different numbers. I blocked them all. Her friends tried messaging me. Blocked. Eventually got a friend request from a profile that looked fake. Blank photos, no posts. Blocked. The entitlement was impressive. She'd convinced herself, her mom, her friends that she was the victim. That I was the bad guy for following a legal contract and recovering property I was still paying for. The mental gymnastics were Olympic level. Curtis asked me that night, "You doing okay?" This got messy fast. Yeah, I'm okay. No regrets. I thought about it. About the whole relationship, the red flags I'd ignored, the way she'd changed over the months, the casual cruelty of that, "Maybe you're boring." No, I said finally. No regrets. It's been about 5 weeks since the ring got repossessed. Figured I'd close out this story. Bianca tried one last-ditch manipulation attempt through a mutual friend, Kendall. Poor guy got caught in the middle and didn't realize he was being used. He called me 3 weeks ago. "Hey man, can we talk about the Bianca situation?" Not much to talk about. She's really struggling, says she can't afford therapy to deal with the trauma of what happened. I almost laughed. Trauma. That's unfortunate. She mentioned if you could just help her out a little financially. No. Derek, come on. You guys were together for 2 years. You can't just... Kendall, she dumped me, tried to keep a $12,000 ring that wasn't paid for, and is now playing victim because she faced consequences. I don't owe her money, sympathy, or anything else. That's pretty cold. That's reality. You want to help her? You write her a check. He didn't call again. The story spread through our social circle, obviously. People took sides. I lost some friends who bought Bianca's narrative, kept the ones who mattered. Turns out when you stop caring about people's opinions, you figure out who actually knows you. Bianca eventually deleted all the posts about the ring situation. Probably got tired of people asking questions she couldn't answer. Last I saw, she'd posted about new beginnings and cutting toxic people from my life. Good for her. Faye tried one more time, sending me a long email about how I'd ruined her daughter's faith in love and how I'd weaponized the legal system against an innocent woman. I didn't respond, just archived it. Found out through Kendall, before we stopped talking, that Bianca had been texting some guy from her gym for about 3 months before our breakup. Nothing physical, allegedly, just emotional connection. That tracked with the timeline of when she'd started pulling away. Did it hurt? Yeah. Did it change anything? No. The jeweler let me use the money I'd paid toward a different piece as store credit. I bought my mom a nice necklace for her birthday instead. She doesn't know the backstory, but she loved it. As for me, I'm doing fine. Moved out of Curtis's place and got my own apartment. Smaller than the one I shared with Bianca, but it's mine. No pink throw pillows I didn't want. No weird organic candles that smell like nothing. Just my space. Dating again? Not yet. Not ready. Maybe in a few months. For now, I'm good with being alone. Learned some things about myself, about red flags, about people who see relationships as transactions instead of partnerships. The whole ring situation taught me something important. When someone shows you who they really are during a crisis, believe them immediately. Don't make excuses. Don't rationalize. Don't hope they'll change. Bianca showed me exactly who she was when things got tough. Someone who valued a material possession more than dignity. Someone who'd rather keep a ring than walk away cleanly. Someone whose first instinct was playing victim instead of taking responsibility. I showed her who I was too. Someone who doesn't get played. Someone who follows through. Someone who's fine walking away from people who treat relationships like a game they're entitled to win. The ring's probably back on display at Kleinman's shop. Some other guy will buy it. Hopefully for someone who deserves it. Bianca can tell whatever story she wants. The people who matter know the truth. The rest don't matter anyway. And yeah, there's a certain satisfaction in knowing that the ring she plastered all over social media, the one she bragged about keeping, the one she told all her friends was rightfully hers, is sitting in a jewelry case downtown. Not on her finger, not in her possession, just gone. She wanted to keep a trophy, ended up with nothing. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting natural consequences play out. You don't need elaborate schemes. You just need to know when to step back and let people deal with the mess they made. Bianca made her mess. I just stopped cleaning it up. Life's pretty quiet now. Pretty peaceful. Working on myself, hanging with people who actually care about me. Not stressing about someone who saw me as an ATM with a ring budget. And hey, I saved $5,500 by canceling that